Hi, Mike here. You're watching Yukon Scout Restoration. This video is about 152 Comanche Engine piston installation. This is not a how-to video, it's a how I do video. I hope you like it. Let's get to work. If you want to help, please subscribe to Yukon Scout Restoration. It's free. Mike Morrow, over and out. I finally got the right 40 over piston rings. So the first thing I want to do is check the gap. Let's get to work. Piston rings. Note there's no dot on either side of these top rings. That means they can go either way on the piston. So in order to check the ring gap, I have to put the ring in the top of the cylinder very carefully and try to get them as even as possible. I'm going to put all the top compressions in at the same time, like that. Get them even. The spec is 10 to 20 thou. So if I've got 10, I'm laughing. So I have an easy 10 everywhere. If it was less than 10, I would have to file them. And the way to file them is you put a file in the vise and you hold both ends of the ring like this against the file, and you squeeze them together and you work it back and forth for a while, and then you put it back in the cylinder and you measure it and keep doing that till you get the gap you want. So the spec was 10 to 20. So let's try 15, starting with number 1. It's a tight number 1, it's a tight 15. Number 2 is a tight 15. Number 3, it's a tight 15. And number 4, it's a little bit tighter than number 3. But I think they're all around 15. So they're right in the middle of the specs. Second ring has a dot. So the dot goes up when you install them on the piston. I will now put the second rings in the top of the cylinders and measure the gap on them. I ordered 40 over pistons and 40 over rings. Checking the ring gap ensures that I've actually got the right parts. Same spec, 10 to 20 thou. Number 1 cylinder, easy 10, easy 10, easy 10, easy 10. So no filing, good. I will check with the 15, which is middle spec. 15 goes in there with a slight drag. 15, 15, 15, 15. So they're all the same. So it's got to be uniform, and the machining, you can see the machining is bang on because my ring gaps are all coming out the same. So now I will begin with number 1 piston, installing rings. Hi. For 2 years, I searched for the original pistons for the 152 slant 4 engine. There are none. There's none left. They're all gone. I also searched for the 304 flat top pistons. There's a few of those around, but people are sitting on them and want big money. So George at Southland International found me sealed power H997CP Speed Pro hypereutectic aluminum alloy pistons. They contain 16% silicone for greater strength and wear resistance. This is a vastly superior piston to the old 58-year-old pistons that this engine originally had. So I'm going to end up with a better engine than the original. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the rings on the pistons. So let's get to work. Builders have been successfully using these pistons on the 152 engine. Those ends go up, not down. Finally, number 4 piston, the spacer for the oil ring, with the tanks up, the bottom rail, 1 inch or something like that, 1.5 inches to this side, and the second rail top. Second compression ring with the dot up. There we go. I'll put this one over there somewhere. And the top compression ring, no dot, can go either way. It's just super important that the rings are staggered. The gaps are staggered. There. I'm now ready to install the pistons. Let's get to work. Note that I have placed number 1 crankshaft journal in the down position. This is the number 1 piston. The up arrow goes toward the camshaft side of the engine. First, I will wipe everything down with a paper towel, making sure there's no dust or debris. Soil has a high zinc and phosphorus content. Dipping the piston in engine oil, just double checking my ring gaps. They're all nicely staggered. This piston in. Number 1 piston is in his hole. It's on the crankshaft journal. I'm going to squirt some engine oil in here with the cap on, lining up the number 1s. Just put the bolts in loosely first. I'm going to turn the crank a little bit. Just snug these very lightly. Then I want to give it a little tap with a hammer handle, just to make sure everything's seated. Now I'm going to turn it 1 revolution. It looks pretty good. There's some side play, which I'll have to measure later. I'm just going to torque this to 20 foot-pounds. And I'll give her a turn again. Come on. Before that's right in place, I'm going to squirt a lot of oil in here. Turn it a little bit. Line up the numbers, number 2 with the number 2. Tap. Just a little bit more to there. More oil. Pull it up tight. Torque to 20. All the way down. Perfect. 20. Let's just check the side plate on number 1 and number 4. So the side plate, side clearance, 0.004 to 0.011. 0.005 goes in there. It's tight. So we have 0.005. Check again here. 0.005. Now we'll check number 2 and 3 here. Yes, we have a nice 0.005. Here too, 0.005. So I'll do them one at a time, sort of. So I'm going to remove number 2, bearing cap. See a little wipe. Plastigage there. Just give the cap a little wipe. Carefully put it on top of the Plastigage. That's 20 foot-pounds. So I'm going to torque these to 40. There. Undo number 2 is bang on 0.002. It's right in the middle of the specs. It's perfect. It's just beautiful. So I'm just going to scrape this Plastiguage off here with my fingernail. Make sure I get it all. There. We'll dip the cap in oil. Line up the number 2s. So snug them very lightly. A little tap. Check number 3. Number 3 rod bearing. Tooth out. That's good. I'm torquing number 2 and 3, 40 foot-pounds in increments. I just do my increments by feel. Oh, I got it already. 40, 40, 40, 40. And finally, 45 foot-pounds. And recheck them. That's the final torque on number 2 and 3. Next, number 1 and 4. This is number 1. Plastiguage, the cap on. And we'll do that with number 4 as well. Now torquing number 4 rod bearing in increments up to 40 foot-pounds. 40, 40. I will do the same with number 1. Another 2/1000ths of an inch. There's a gap here, is the oil hole. I'll just snug that for now. Number 1's 0.002. So we're all good. I will now torque number 1 connecting rod cap in increments to 40. And number 4 connecting rod cap. And a final torque of 45 for number 1. Number 4. I will turn it. So number 2 and 3 are up again. I'm rechecking the connecting rod cap torque of 45 foot-pounds on number 2 and 3. And now I will turn the engine over and I will check number 1 and 4. So here we have 1. Number 4.
In conclusion, I'm happy. The pistons went in very well. And the rod bearing clearance is excellent. My next video will be engine number 4, 152 Comanche cylinder head installation. I hope you like it. If you want to help, please subscribe to Yukon Scout Restoration. It's free. Mike Morrow, over and out.